kind of build off what we did on Tuesday, but now we're gonna play, I'm gonna pass this half guard when he's got a high knee shield.
This thing's such a weird guy.
So he's got his half guard hook. He's playing his knee shield higher up into my chest. Okay, when we were playing it down here in the hip, it's obviously controlling more of my hips. Here, he's trying to negate my ability to get to his head. Okay, so commonly with this position, he'll be playing a cross post here. So whether he's framing in here, he might have this other arm on my bicep so I can't get to his head. That's kind of his intent there. He can utilize this to open up space and then shoot his arm in behind it for his underhooks. Okay, so there's a lot of different ways that we can address this. I'm gonna start, number one, kind of like we did the other day, and I'm gonna show this couple angles too. If he'll allow me to get my arm on the inside, like I showed, get my hand on the inside and pop that off, we're gonna take it. So let me turn him around. Back up just a little bit. So when he's got his hook, he's got his frames in here. I can utilize a couple different ways to make space for me to get my arm through here. We're not necessarily going to drill that, but I am going to show it. Since we did this the other night, I'm not going to mess with that. I'm going to show something a little different tonight. But just so everybody can see it, if he's in here, I can utilize a cup, like a grip underneath his knee. So he's framing, right? I'm going to work for this spot. So I might kind of have my arm here, and I'm going to work on picking this knee up and moving my arm around to get to the spot. So keep your frame in here. All right, I'm gonna work on picking his knee up and then getting in. Once I'm in here, I wanna negate that ability for that shield to come back in, okay? So once I'm in here, then I can work, you know, my pass like before. Instead today, I'm gonna work on kind of grabbing at the outside of his pants. He's framing, all right? What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna kind of push into him. There are different techniques where I could grab, pull this off and do different things to free this leg. But I want to be careful of sticking my hands down here in a gi, because he's going to grab my sleeves. It's really going to put him into a lasso right away. And then he could go into my bicep and different lasso sweeps and all kinds of stuff to make it difficult for me to pass. So I'm going to work on just kind of getting a pants grip here, or even kind of posting on his hip. So just outside pant grip. And I'm just going to press into him. And then what I'm going to look at doing, instead of going to his head because he's blocking there, I'm going to go right over the top. So instead of into his head on this side, I'm going to go over the top and control his head. All right, so he's framing. I'm going to push in and get some sort of reaction. As he pushes back, this knee's going to go to his hip, and I'm going to turn to the side. Okay, so we're in very much that same position where my knee is hitting his hip. I'm controlling, over his head. He could either have a frame under my armpit, or he could shoot for an underhook here. This hand I have on his hip. I want to get my elbow on the inside of his thigh here, okay? Go this way here. So, controlling his pants, framing. All right, I'm gonna get him to push back just a little bit. When he does, the knee's gonna go to his hip, and I'm gonna shoot this hand over the top. Pinch, okay? Now from here, he can either choose to shoot an underhook, or he'll have the arm under here as kind of as a frame. All right, from here, my elbow's on the inside, and then I can start addressing this arm, and we're gonna work to shoot for either a looped control of this leg, whereas we'll be in the same position we were in the other night. So with here, I have good control here. He's fighting back on me. And back step out. I can utilize this knee more as a wedge, a little further up on his hip here, to allow me to free my legs and try to keep it. Okay? It's just another way of utilizing my body to kind of wedge him in position. All right. From in here, I could also start attacking submissions to lead to the different passing position we were talking about another way for me to kind of go to mount or a knee cut, all right? So if I'm holding here, his arm is in this spot, I can take my hand and reach down towards like his wrist and his hand area. If he's framing tight, I'm just gonna pull it, okay? And from here, I can work on getting myself into that Kimura position, all right? If he's shooting an underhook, I can take my hand into his, like right at the crook of his bicep, just keep it. Got it in there good?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm just gonna work on pushing it to free, push to the mat, and I can work in setting this up, okay? From here, I can set myself up to either attack the Kimura, i.e. right here. I'm gonna wanna pass my leg out if I'm gonna go Kimura here. I don't wanna try to finish that here. But what I can do is work on getting a one-hand grip to have his arm controlled here. So, I can feel at the outside of his hand, his fingers, and grab it with my hand here. I'm not grabbing his fingers. It's very difficult for him to push his hand out here. So extend your hand. All right. If I grab at his wrist, extend your hand out. All right. So if I can get him in here, this one-hand grip, I can go back to this and clear. And then I'm in position to work either to finish that Kimura and or come to the top. All right. Remember, if I'm gonna go to mount, I don't really want to go there without a good underhook control, okay? So I wanna have head control and underhook. So, get in here. At first, we're just gonna work from this spot, and then we're gonna work on going to mount, all right? So we'll just spend a little bit of time on controlling here. Free my leg. I can do the same exact stuff that we did the other day, or I can loop in here, pull this tight, and turn my elbow in, kind of on the inside of my knee. And then from here, I can wedge my knee up a little more, bridge me over. I've got pretty good control. See how his legs have to come apart? From here, now I can work coming up, getting my position, right, into my side control. Any questions on that? I showed several different things. I just kind of want you to understand kind of the process of what we're going to do when we get here.
Could you do it one, just to kind of flip angle one more time? Just
Turn towards you? Or?
either way, doesn't matter. Or how about if you turn that, to that direction?
Yep. Facing you? Or?
Yep. That just right there is good.
Right here?
Yep.
Okay. So, here. Framing. Go to like a pants grip here. All right? I'm going to press into him. I want to get a reaction. From there, my left knee is going to go right to his hip as I shoot my arm over his head. Pushes in, here. So his arm's a little out of position. This is not good for him. So he's either going to be framing in here or he's going to try for an underhook. So I'm holding at his hip. Get this on the inside. Inside for me, it's going to be in front of his thigh at that point. Here. Okay? For here, I can scoop it right to this position. And I'm already in a pretty good spot to pass if I need to. Right? If I don't like it, I've got my opportunities to set everything else up that we talked about. Okay. I could just work on the pant leg. This here. If I get to this spot, and if I can open this arm up to where I can get my underhook, I can go through all of my other series of pass opportunities. Okay. So for right now, when I'm in here, throw my wedge up just a little bit higher, pull my leg out, work on squaring back up, try to get under this, finish the side control. Any questions? Good? We're going to do this for just a little bit, and then we're going to work on going to more of a position where I'm going to go for a knee cut and or go to mount. All right? Probably knee cut because it's essentially the same thing. We're just going to cut our knee through a little different. Instead of going across, we're going to cut it back on the same side. You good? All right, get some partners.
I'll give you a look.
All right, so he's framing hard, all right? I'm gonna go with that outside hip again, and I'm gonna wait for that opportunity. He's pushing, and then I'm gonna throw that knee in and go over to that, just over his head again, all right? So he pushes up here, I'm in that position, all right? From here, I wanna go inside that leg. If I can get this underhook, I'm gonna go, in a lot of cases, I'm gonna go right to that position. Because of that, I'm really set up to go right to that knee cut and or try to go to the mat. All right? So from here, I'm working on pushing him down to the mat a little bit. My foot's through the hole. All right? If this is deep under here, I can push it away. All right? If not, if he's framing, in theory, I can almost walk this up right away. All right? So from here, I'm just gonna go under here. I'm already clear of that leg. So I'm gonna go underhook. Get control of his head and just make a grip here. Give him some shoulder pressure, and I'm gonna put my head on the mat here. Okay? So you try to keep your legs locked. I'm gonna come up, and that right knee is just gonna cut out through here. In a lot of cases, I'm gonna be able to immediately just cut through. If he keeps my leg, I'm just gonna push. Here. So I'm gonna work on picking my hips up, putting that knee through here. The knee is already through the gap in the middle here. So I should be able to pick that up through there. If it was stuck behind here, it might be difficult. So that's part of the reason why we're getting the knee through the hole there. So control, over the top, here, all right? If he's framing in here, I'm gonna go right to this, all right? Can come up under here. I'm already in this position. Turn, get my head to the mat, knee comes up. So real tight, it's hard for him to move here. Feel all right? My elbows are wide, so I have kind of posts out there. And from here, I'm just gonna angle that knee through. Okay? I'm either gonna slide right through if he keeps my foot. Here, push. And then finish in side control. Let's go this way. Let's try this side. Here. Control. He's framing. We go over, knee to his hip. Here, on the inside. Knee comes through the hole. Right, if he's framing here, go right under here. Under his head, pressure. Here, turn the knee through. You okay? My elbows are wide, so I have a post. If the leg doesn't come through, here, I want to keep my head down too. Finish in side control. Once I get that head and arm control, wide elbows is going to work as my post. Okay? If they're in tight, and I'm just in here, I don't really have something to stick out if he tries to bridge or move me. All right? I want my pressure with my head and my knee up. Okay? Any questions?
Can I see it one more time?
Yeah. This way?
Yeah, don't either way.
So, outside grip. He's controlling my bicep, my shoulder. Push in. Here. All right. Inside. I'm underneath his elbow. Here. Start to get him to the mat. Under his head. Make the gable grips fine. Okay, tight. Head to the mat. Open the elbow so I have a little bit of a post. Bring my hip up. And I'm gonna turn my knee. There. Okay. I'm leaning over his head with mine. Push. Side control. Okay. Good.